Well, really enjoy them there. It's amazing. I wasn't really something beautiful, beautiful music.
Hey guys, welcome. We'll be starting in a few minutes. You guys enjoy Lutheran? Please come up forward. Like you back there, it feels weird. Yes. Lutheran sitting. Yeah. It happens. Yes, it happens. You use them too. But yes, please just get comfortable in the front space. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, welcome everyone, and welcome Joy Lutheran. We appreciate you all being here to enjoy a Shabbat service experience. And so we're gonna start in our prayer books. I'm sure Jen Killen already kind of coached you. They opened from left to right, right to left. Which one is it again? It's the opposite way than you are used to, essentially. But I think it's the right way because Hebrew is a lot older than English, so this is actually the correct way, I feel like. Anyway, so we're gonna start on page 120 for prayer books. I'm going to invite Jen Killen up here to light the Shabbat candles.
Oh, my glasses are there, not on my head.
I know.
I mean,
The whole story about this. Yeah. How a rabbi uses Talmud to find his glasses and on his forehead the whole time.
I'd love to hear it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah. Oh, wow, you're on the wrong page. Yes, it's good. Yes, but I'm sorry. We're praying. Yes, that's when pages flip. Bad books. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvoto v'tzivanu lahadlik nesher Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I'm gonna invite my musicians up here. We're gonna move to page 128. We're on the top right section of that page.
Hine ma tohu manai שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה יאללה לה 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 לה.
Okay, we're now moving to page 138. So we're going to recite paragraphs 1, 5, and 9. When we arrive on paragraph 9, I'm going to ask you all to stand and face the entrance. We're greeting the Shabbat bride. We're also judging people who are late. Okay. Yes, there we go. Okay, here we go.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, לפני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, לפני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, לפני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, שבת נקבלה, שמור וזכור מדיבור אחד, לשמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת אלילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, לפני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום, עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, לפני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, לפני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה,
Now turn to page 142. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidkem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Yeah, turn to page 144. Yid Kedal v'Yid Kedash Shemei Rabba Be'elma Divra Cherotev Yamlik Machutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayerechol Beit Yisrael Ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imaru amen. Yehesh me Rabba mevarach le'alam ulal me'almaya yet barak v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yipromam v'yitnasa v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shemei Kedusha Barichu Le'elam Yinkol Birchata V'Shirata Tus Bechata V'Nechemata Dami Ram Be'alma V'imaru Amen. Turn to page 146, and when you arrive there, I invite you to stand with us.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai. Amevorach. Baruch Adonai Amevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Amevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. We move now to the middle of page 148.
Umaviyom, umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El חי וחיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המרחיב הרבים ומה ביום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וחיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המרחיב הרבים יא לה 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 יא לה לה לה.
We are now moving to page 151, and you're invited to read the English with me. We're on the bottom part of that page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. We now turn to 152, which is called the Shema. This is our prayer for God's oneness. And this evening, we're going to recite the Shema while also using American Sign Language. We have so many guests here. So essentially what I'm going to do is going to be in Hebrew, but I'm going to translate it in real time in American Sign Language. And I'm going to go with it once. I want you all to join me after doing it once, okay? So it starts like right here, like this. And it goes like this. It goes, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. What that means is pay attention. This is Israel, the people. This is an expansive view of God. This is a personal view of God, an expansive view of God. Everything is one. All right. Usually we use right hand for American Sign Language. Okay. You ready for this? Let's do the real deal. Okay. Here we go. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Beautiful. Thank you. We now move to page 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meyotecha v'hayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinartam levarnecha b'divarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvatecha havaderech, ushofpecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayula totafot beinenecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Lema'an tiskeru v'atzitem et chol mitzvotai, v'tem kedoshim leiloechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem meretz Mitzrayim liot lachem leElohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. We now continue to page 158.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 la
to page 162. Will be the top of that page.
Oh, sorry. Where we going? Sorry. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין, בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We now move to page 164. When you arrive there, I invite you to stand with us. We're gonna go from 164 to 166 to 168, kind of like just like that. Here we go.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Yomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konenei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imadot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך יוצא משיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה מבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב ליושיע, מזיק הרוח פרי הגשם. מחיה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. צורך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיה אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום אליו, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ואמנתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל.
We'll now continue silently until page 180. You may be seated whenever you like.
Oh, say shalom. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel v'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel.
Ezekiel, let me clap our hands. Yeah, we'll get there one day, Zeke. Okay, now some words of Torah. So in this week's Torah portion, we encounter the first death of an Adonai worshiper, Sarah. Abraham may have been the first to worship Adonai, but Sarah was the first to die as an Adonai worshiper. And beyond the grief for his wife, Abraham is confronted with a problem. How do Adonai worshipers bury their loved ones? Thus, Abraham must start what will be thousands of years of Jewish ritual practices around death. And during the time of Abraham's sojourn from the city of Ur to parts known and unknown, he is surrounded by something called ancestor cults. People who venerate their dead loved ones by worshiping them. There are objects used in ancestor worship called teraphs, that are small carvings or statues that represent a dead loved one. Often they are prayed to as if a person is talking to the loved one it represents. This is considered idol worship by Adonai. And so Abraham must discover a new practice that is completely unprecedented from local traditions. Unfortunately, Sarah died on Hittite land, and Abraham has no choice but to bury her in the same land that she died. And the Torah provides us with a conversation between Abraham and the Hittite landowners. Abraham says, "I am a foreigner living among you. Please give me a burial site on your land so that I might bury my dead from before my face." Now, most ancient commentators have nothing to say about the "before my face" comment, but modern commentators can't stop talking about it. The Hebrew is awkward, and while ancient scholars have shrugged it off as just being unwieldy, modern scholars call this phrase a hidden polemic, meaning Abraham is striving to say something that the Hittites will assume refers to ancestor worship, but that Abraham doesn't mean ancestor worship. He is saying that he will not see Sarah again, which is true. But what he also means is that he'll not see Sarah as a teraph or a small idol, which is perhaps a detail that the Hittites are meant to miss. The narrative that the modern scholars offers shows that Abraham must use some subterfuge in order to honor Adonai while not alienating himself from local customs. And we know the Hittites don't catch on because the conversation continues concerning the logistics of burying Sarah and not the lack of ancestor worship. What strikes me, though, is how careful Abraham is to practice this new burial custom, which will one day become the standard burial custom in all of Western civilization. We don't see teraphs anymore. In fact, this may be the first time you're hearing about one. What I find so interesting is the way this lines up with the rest of the Torah. And you might think, of course, it lines up with the rest of the Torah. But last week, I talked about how an angel of Adonai tells Hagar she needs to go back to suffering by the hand of her mistress, the very same Sarah. The angel's demand contradicts the book of Deuteronomy, which says a slave who was mistreated must be protected and does not go back to their master. Yet the story of Abraham bearing Sarah lines up perfectly with the rest of the Torah's decree on not practicing ancestor worship. In Leviticus 19, it states, "Do not turn to ghosts and do not inquire of familiar spirits to be defiled by them. I am Adonai your God." In Deuteronomy 18, it states, "You shall declare yourself before God Adonai, I have not deposited any tithings with the dead." In Isaiah, it states, "The people who provoke my anger, who sit inside tombs and pass the night in secret places." All of these biblical quotes are references to ancestor cult worship. And in all these quotes, the Bible couldn't be more clear. Don't do it. So we have here in Genesis 23, Abraham avoiding this practice as best he can among a people who will not understand why he is avoiding it. But the reason why our Bible says not to do it so often is because many Adonai worshipers were doing it. Abraham may have worked hard to start new rituals around death for our loved ones, but it wasn't enough to prevent all Adonai worshipers throughout history to stop. It turns out ancestor worship was a very influential practice that convinced many Adonai worshipers to do it. Abraham modeled the appropriate behavior effectively, even utilizing a hidden polemic to follow it. And it didn't work for some of our Jewish ancestors. And I think this shows we didn't become Jewish all at once. We inherited a tradition that our ancestors often struggled with. And I believe that the Judaism we experience today is the culmination of our ancestors trying and struggling with the Judaism throughout history. And I also believe that Judaism is not done evolving. I believe that if one grieving man on a foreign land can change the course of death practices for all of Western civilization, then a small Jewish congregation as far north as Alaska is capable of almost anything. It's possible that our creativity and resolve for Judaism to thrive in Alaska can evolve Jewish practices for centuries to come. We can faithfully inherit the Jewish tradition given to us from Sinai while also making it our own. And there's no better time than now. Well, there's no better time now as we open up from COVID and remember the power that Jewish rituals and community have over our own healing. Thank you. We now move to the Misha Berach, which is our prayer for healing on page 371 of our prayer books. And in our own community, we're thinking about these members who are in need of healing: Emily Weaver, Ginger Spiro, John Johnson, Jackie Erdschek, Pat Victor, Janice Breeze, Ross Moonrack, and Charity Petrov. If there's someone who you are thinking of who is in need of healing, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts as my hand crosses the room. You can only, oh, no, sorry, Misha Berach. Right, okay.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach v'kol habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We now turn to page 587 of our prayer books. And when you arrive there, I invite you to stand with us. Lenu l'shabeach Adon hakol, latekel la'lexer reshit, she'chusam chalkeinu le'cheres shemo, v'kor aleinu lahamlik malkuto, ve'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. May we never lift up our hand to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all of humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy, fullness of freedom and of peace. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai le'melech ha'kol ha'aretz bayom ha'hu yihei Adonai We now remain standing and return to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598 of our prayer books. And in our own community, we're in a period of Shiva for Philip Kaufman and a period of Yahrzeit for these community members: Rose Pavuza, Martha Gibbs, Hilda Harris Nathan, Louis Kerman, David Rumack, and Ray Spiro. If there's someone who you're mourning for right now, please feel free to say their names out loud in your hearts as my hand crosses the room. Zikrunon livracha, may the memory be for a blessing. Yit kadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, be'el ma divrach yotev yam lik malchute. B'chayechon uvyamechon uvchayedachol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarak le'olam ulamei almaya yitzbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitbramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemedu kudusha barichu le'ekala min kol birchata v'shirata Tuspechata v'nechamata da'amiram de'elman v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say amen. You may be seated. Okay, announcements. All right, hopefully I get them all this time. Let me think. So after this, we have what's called oneg, which means dessert or like reception. So you can join us for that. That'll be in the multi-purpose room right behind this wall over here. And then tomorrow morning, we have Judaism 101 over in our Zoom room at 9 a.m. And then we have Shabbat service morning services at 10:30 as well. And then I think we're volunteering over at the food, yes, at the Fairview Rec Center Food Bank, yes, at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Please join us for that as well. And then we have religious school on Sunday at 9:30. And we have our morning minyan. Yes, at 8:30 a.m. over Zoom every Wednesday. And then Hanukkah's coming around. And so we're going to have our Hanukkah party on December 23rd, which is a Shabbat. Right here, we'll have a quick Shabbat service, and we'll have our whole party after that. So that's going on. I think that's all the announcements. Did I get them? Anyone else? Did I get them all? We good? Yes. Okay, great. I'm sorry? Yes, first time for something, I guess. All right, closing melody. What we got, fellas? Oh my gosh, every time. Adon Olam. Okay, what page is that on? 625.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefzo Kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra, V'acharei ימלוך נורא, והוא היה, והוא הולך, והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם, אשר מלך, בטרם כל, יציר נברא, ועת נשא, וחפצו כל, אזי מלך, שמו נקרא.
Shabbat shalom, y'all.